that leads me to believe that these craft may look like they're traveling through our air, but they're not, because they don't come from here. And wherever they come from, it's not, you ain't in Kansas anymore. Now the StoneHenge has been in Europe for we don't know how long. There has been a lot of the books, a lot of very fine books on the subject that I have on StoneHenge, and here's another really good one, Solving StoneHenge. But there is no definite proof of how long the StoneHenge has been there, or of what tribe or who has made it. Because we have to imagine that if you have an edifice this big, StoneHenge, you have to have a society that has a lot of free time, that has a lot of planning and organization, and also you have to have a society that has measurements. Remember, when this was made, supposedly 5,000 years ago, no one knows, this was laid out in a geometric circular pattern. Someone had to use measurements. That's simple. Does that make sense to anyone? Except the metric system wasn't around, the English system wasn't around, and don't tell me that they did it with a rope. Even if the StoneHenge was built with a rope system like the Mayans used to make their cities, they still would have had to have a measurement. Because you can do square things with a rope, but circular things, especially from the ground, because they had nothing from the air, would require a lot more technical know-how, which has never been proven to exist. So the pattern shows that this is the face of one of the builders of this Chillibotan glyph that was made, I believe, in 2001, outside of the Chillibotan Observatory, the biggest radio telescope in Britain, maybe even the biggest one in Europe. The thing is that it was done at night. Like all crop circles are done at night. They're not done during the day. Nobody has proved that humans have done it. There's a Chillibotan Observatory right there. Radio telescope, I'm sorry. And here is the glyph. This is a radio telescope that was left exactly 1 year before the face showed up. What this shows is that this is their radio telescope, and this is ours. They wanted to show us this. And there's the Chillibotan again, or Chillibotan or something like that. Now this is all very interesting, because if you notice all these pictures are shown from the air. Now we take my 22 bullet again, and if I was going to look at this in an ad or in a anywhere or see a picture of it, I would take a picture like a human does. I would look down on it and take a picture of it, or like this or sideways. But how many times do you see an object that we take a picture of where we go like this? I want to show you something here. How many times there's the bullet right there, okay? Now, how many times do you see an object that we want to show our friends that looks exactly like this vertically from 1,500 feet up? Just like all these pictures show. You don't. And what the pattern shows of this is that these pictures were designed to be seen from 1,500, 2,000 meters up, in above them, not at ground level. That's why if a human did this, it makes no sense. Mainly, well, we can also say we've only had flight for a few years, say 100 years. These crop circles have been found and proven to be made at least 300 years ago. So we know they're not for us. The other thing about the patterns is, if you look here, this is what they see at night with their eyes, with these eyes. Okay, this is what the pattern shows. And I know you may think, well, I'm just a crazy old man and this is all some wishful thinking. But if you look at it from outside the box and think, this has been happening for years, no one has ever been proven to make these, especially for their size and everything else. And if you can imagine making a circle like that in the middle of the night, way out in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, with no lights, no points of reference, nothing, it's all pitch black, how would you do it? And you'll notice this picture too is taken at 1,500 feet up, not right at ground level. Next video.